What's going on, guys? Late night hangout once again on YouTube. Oh no, did I just do that? What's going on? All right, so we're going to just hang out and chat. It's a laid back Saturday night, late night Saturday night. Make up for lost time, lost fellowship. A lot of the people that were in the fellowship, since we stopped doing it, they're like, "What happened to the fellowship? We used to do it every day or every week or whatever." What we used to do it, we did it for like so many years, But things got really busy and things got, But so why don't we just, kind of revamp things a little bit here on YouTube? I'm kind of liking the hangout and the interaction. It's always a time of learning, real time hangout where I can just interact with all of you, all of you good people. I feel like we're on the Titanic, when when Jack is sitting. Did you ever see that movie, The Titanic, when Jack is sitting at the table and he's like, "What do you do?" They're trying to question him, trying to trap him, and he's like trying to make him look stupid. And he's like, "Well, I just got the air in my lungs and the clothes on my back, and wherever I go, and here I am eating with you good people. I was sleeping under a bridge the other day, and now I'm here on the SMS Titanic, sitting here with all you fine folks." Right before the Titanic sinks. But anyways, I'm just going to post this on a few channels here. Make sure that everybody kind of knows that we're here. Otherwise, nobody will know. And we wouldn't want that to happen. No, we wouldn't. We want everybody to know. We want to shout it from the mountaintops. Let everybody know. Notify. And who knows? World War III might break out while we're on. It's been crazy. There's been a few times where we just kind of hanging out online, and then all of a sudden something huge happens. Right when we're just talking about whatever, some news or something or whatever. You know how we do it. Are these glasses crooked? Anyways, all right, we got that one. Let me see if I'll put it on locals too. So I had a late night. I had a lot of stuff to do today, and tomorrow it's going to rain. So I got free time tomorrow. Can't do anything when it rains. And it's going to rain, and it's going to rain, and then it's going to snow, and it's going to rain. And then I'm going to be online all the time because I don't have anything else to do at that point. Yep. All right, then we got that one too. Let everybody know. Now, I don't let the YouTube channels, because I got like 5 YouTube channels. I don't let everybody know. Like I don't go down the list on just little broadcasts, or even the devotional that we do in the morning. I don't let everybody know. I just let Telegram, locals, and the Blazing Press app. And I really don't use the app except for posting to everybody that's there. Now, I don't know. I'm guessing there's a couple hundred active members there, but there's a list of about 6,000 people there. I think there's at least 6,000 people that use the Blazing Press app. But people that are actively viewing and posting, I think there's only a couple hundred over there. So, you got a few hundred people to fellowship with over there if you wanted to do that. The Blazing Press app. But like I said, my wife kind of frequents that zone there, and she talks and monitors and whatever else. So if anything goes on, I don't know what's going on over there. Sometimes my wife will tell me what's going on, but I don't know. How are things going? Does anybody use the app? It's like, who else out there uses the app? What an amazing time we're living in. A great time of um, yeah, I get an alert when I go live. Is that crazy? Oh, this is coming from locals? I don't know. Let me see. What is this coming from? Oh no. See, that's the Blazing Press app. See, in my email, I get an email, and it's always good to have like a push notification enabled if you're using a computer, which, from what I understand, a lot more people use mobile devices now. A lot of people are using mobile devices. I think the stats are like maybe 30%, 30 to 40% use computers, and the rest are on mobile devices. So if you have your email connected to your mobile device and you get a push notification, whenever you get an email, it'll pop up and it'll say, "Hey, Blazing Press is live right now." So if you're on uh, the the Blazing Press app, or if you're on locals, you get an email, or if you're on Telegram, you might get one too. Anyways, I'm going to look at your guys' comments here because I've got to get a bunch of stuff done before winter, and I'm building right now. I'm doing, because I told you guys about my chickens. See, this is just kind of a hangout, so don't think of anything like I'm just going to be doing news here. Because see the title, Saturday Night Hangout, Blazing Press, laid back. Nothing more than that. So don't get all your expectations up to hear something crazy. Nothing more than that. So I'm building this because we got lots of chickens. So I'm building these chicken feeders and chicken watering, gravity watering systems. So I have to be careful because we're in a very cold climate. So the water freezes. So if we got dogs, we got cats, and we have to let the cats in sometimes because it gets so cold. But the dogs are good. They're bred for really cold weather. So they have a lot of hay, and they've got their own little area to hide in when it gets really cold. But the water freezes, right? I mean, it'll be like a solid block of ice in a few hours. So you got to put these heaters inside the water so it doesn't freeze. So we've got like a lot of chickens. I'll say a lot. I won't say how many, but we have a lot. I have two different coops. And so I've got these 55-gallon drums that I'm putting together, and and they're filling it up. So I fill it up with water, put the heaters in there so it doesn't freeze. And then you put the nipples on the bottom, and then all the chickens are just like, "Give me some water. I'm thirsty." And so they get their water. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the food because they eat a lot of food. Chickens eat a lot of food. Popsicles. I watch BP and others on my laptop. Rumble ads got so annoying I can get around the ads with Vivaldi on the laptops. Yeah. Yep, I understand. And Rumble's got lots of ads now. I don't know what happened, but they were telling me, "Hey, come on over and make sure you cover the election." They wanted to feature our channel too. And they said they would double our ad revenue. I'm like, YouTube has like 4 or 5 times better ad revenue returns than Rumble. I even think it's more than that. I think it's like 10 times better. For every viewer, you get a little bit of something. I can't break it down for you, but it's about 10 times better than Rumble. An ad pops up every 7 minutes. Really? That's good. Click on it and go check it out. It helps us. It feeds our war machine. It actually helps to fund what we're doing. So go watch the ads and then come back later and then watch me. No. Either that or just get premium, and then you don't have to worry. If you get premium, you won't see any ads. They give you a little cut too on the premium, but I'd rather that everybody just click on the ads all day and don't listen to me. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. So anyway, so I'm making these things for the chickens, and I just finished up the coop that got destroyed by the big wind storm. We had a windstorm sweep through our area. It was 70 to 80 mile an hour winds. It only lasted for like 5 minutes, but they warned us. They gave us like about a half an hour heads up. And so we were like, oh my gosh, there's going to be a terrible windstorm. And then all of a sudden we see the lightning and it's, and then all of a sudden this wind comes through and it's like the trees are like this. We got these big pine trees that are like, and we're like, what is going on? I'm going like, everybody get in the center of the house. I don't know what's going on. And then all of a sudden we hear this trees falling all over the place. A chicken coop is completely destroyed. Not completely, but just the top. The whole roof was just, but the lucky thing was, this is the, I won't say lucky because it was like the Lord, right? I spent all this time building this chicken coop. And I just put the roof on it. And then the Lord just prompted me to go out there and put this door up before we left because we went into town. And I put this door in because it was a big, heavy, huge, massive door on two big hinges. And this, I made it so it was big. It was thick, with, did I do 4x4s? I think I did 2x4s, but I put the center post in it. It was heavy. And then I put a big piece of plywood on it. And I stuck it in there, right? And I hung it with the, you hang a door, right? You put it in. And so the header on top wasn't a big header. All it was a 2x4. It wasn't like a 4x6 or anything like that, or even a 6x2. It was just a 2x4. So when the tree came down, and the tree was about maybe that big, it was about that big around, and it was probably a tree that must have been at least 30 or 40 feet. It's those pole pines. Have you ever heard of pole pines, right? They're like, they look like poles. They go really high up in the air. I mean, they're very tall. And anyways, so when this wind came through, this pole pine just started falling, right smack dab in the center of the chicken coop. And it landed right on the door like this. It was just stuck there like this. And if the door wasn't there, I had just put the door there 10, 15 minutes before. Was it 10 or 15 minutes? No, it was a half an hour. It was a half an hour because we had left. We went and got something at the store, and then we were coming right back home, and that's when we heard the reports on the news or on the alerts because it beeped our phone. There's going to be a big windstorm, and it says get into the center of your house. Destructive winds, life-threatening to property, to your person. And so we were like, what? What is going on? What is this? This is one of those like tornadoes or something, or like hurricane? What the heck is this? So when we get home, this was on the day of the hurricane. And this was the day that the hurricane happened in Helene. The day that it hit in Florida. It was on the very same day. Our electricity went out for I think we were out of electricity for 2 days because it destroyed all kinds of telephone poles. There was so many people who were out of electricity all around us. It totally took down everything. So anyways, so when I got home, as soon as we got home, all of a sudden the skies got really dark, and then it was lightning. And then all of a sudden the winds came, just like out of nowhere. The winds just come, whoosh, and it got stronger and stronger. And then all of a sudden it was like all the trees were bent over, like you see in when you see hurricane footage. That's what it looked like. All the trees were like, whoosh, and it was loud like a hurricane. And we were all like, oh my gosh, we got to get into the center of the house. Everybody in the center of the house. And then all of a sudden we hear this. Boom, when the whole house shook, boom, and then another, boom, and it was like 5 minutes, and then it just stopped, and it went all back to quiet again. That was 5 minutes and all that destruction. It was like, man, it's a good thing there was nobody out there. Somebody could have got killed by those trees. It's just the luck of somebody to be out there when something like that happens and a tree fall on you. An ad broke in right when we were talking about ads. That's funny. Do I get to listen to Vivaldi music on the Vivaldi browser? I don't know. I have no idea. So we got a lot of people here hanging out watching. Good to see you too, Pugs. Hello, Wesley. Regina McBride. What's going on? Dee Dee. Saint only because of Christ. Kathy Moore. Do you like the taste of strawberry cream cake? Are you talking to me? Strawberry cream cake? Okay. Why would you ask me that? Yeah. Hello, Lauren. Are you asking me that? Let's see. Jesus, please put in all the mouths the taste of strawberry. Okay. So anyways, that was just a little story. I don't know why I went off on that story, but just to say that, follow the leading when God says, go put the door up. Because if that door wasn't there, the whole structure would have been in a big pile of rubble. Everything would have just went folded in on itself. If that door wasn't there, it landed on the top of the door and it stopped it. So I was able to salvage everything except 2 panels and 1 2x6. What is it? What do they call those? Rafter. 1 2x6 rafter. And wood is expensive. I got a lot of that wood for free though. But that 2x6, if I would have had to go buy that thing, it would have been like $30 or $20 or something like that. I don't know. But anyways, so only one of the 2x6s was broke, and 2 steel panels. And I told you what happened. I went to the dump, and somebody had thrown away all these steel sheeting, like 12-foot sheets of roofing, and it was the same color. It was green, just like mine. So I was like, oh, cool. So I just threw it in the back of my trailer. And so when the storm came and broke it, I had extra pieces. So I didn't have to go buy any. And now I can also build my dog's house. I'm building another dog house too. Because my 2 dogs, they sleep in the same house, and I'm going to separate them because one of them, the one eats all the food and the other one doesn't allow the other one to eat. Do you have anybody that's like that that's very greedy, doesn't share, and just eats all the food, tries to take all the glory? I just want to take all the glory. And all he wants to do is eat up all the food. So I have to separate them. They have to be separated by a fence. They can see each other and kiss each other through the fence, but they're not going to be like stealing each other's food. Actually, only the one steals the food. That's the male. He's like, it's so funny because what I'll do is I'll take him out. I was telling Carla this the other day. I have these 2 Great Pyrenees. One is a Pyrenees purebred, and the other one's a Pyrenees Anatolian Shepherd mix. So it's a mix, and that's the male, right? The female is the purebred, and the male is the mix. And so what happens is, like, he'll always eat the food really quickly, and she doesn't like try to get in there and get it. Like, she doesn't want to fight for it. And I feel so bad. Like, I'm like, she must not be eating because he just eats it all. Anytime I put out the food, he eats it all. So I let him out, and he runs all around. He thinks it's great, but I give her all the good food so that she can eat, and then he started finally getting the hint, like, hey, all the good food is getting eaten up, and I'm not getting anything. I'm like, yeah, you got to learn a lesson. So you come out here with me and you can run around and think you're having fun. But when you get back in there, you're gonna only have a little bit left because she needs to eat. And so now he doesn't, when I open the gate to let him out, he kind of looks, he doesn't want to go out. He's like, he knows I got the food and he's like, I don't think I want to go out. You tricked me too many times. I'm going to stay right here. Because normally I open the gate and he just runs right out like, pew, and he's like, I got to get out of here. But now he doesn't even want to leave. He just stays in there. He's like, I ain't going nowhere. That's my food. So I still can trick him out if I just play with him a little bit and I trick him and he comes out. But what will happen is if I stick the food down and they're both in there, he puts his head in there and she's trying to put her head in there too, and he'll just stop like this and he'll look at her. And then she's like, "Oh." And then she backs out. All he has to do is go. He's like, "I'm looking at you. You get your head out of my food." And then she just backs out, and then he keeps eating. Because when they fight, they sound like they're killing each other sometimes. So like whenever they have like a fight, they don't have a lot of fights. They're not always fighting. I think they kind of love each other, but I think they kind of love each other, but they don't fight all that much. But when they do, it sounds like they're gonna kill each other. I don't know if it's like the dominant thing. Anyway, so I made a separate pen for her, fenced it all around. And you got to do it really good because these Pyrenees, they dig holes that are like 6 feet deep and they'll dig like tunnels. I don't know where they got the idea, but they're like, they must have learned it from like Hezbollah or something because I know they know how to dig tunnels. But they dig tunnels. Like, they'll tunnel under the ground and out the other side of the fence. So I had to put all of these like mesh wire fencing on the floor all around the whole perimeter. So I got fencing up like this, and then I got fencing up. I was trying to put like rocks and everything and bricks and things around but they still would tunnel underneath. And so like in the summertime, what they do is they go underground. Both of my Anatolian shepherds do this. I have a purebred Anatolian shepherd. I have a purebred Anatolian shepherd. I have a Pyrenees and Anatolian mix, and then I have a purebred Great Pyrenees. So I have 3 dogs. The Anatolian that's purebred, it's a Boz. It's called a Turkish Anatolian. It's a Turkish bred. They're huge. They look like mastiffs, but they're bred to like not have any hip problems, and they're like they can take out mountain lions and they can take out wolves. I mean, they're very good guardian like watchdogs. Anyway, so this dog will dig huge, deep tunnels too. And in the summertime, they dig these tunnels and then they go in there, like they go in. I guess it's cooler underground, right? So they crawl in there, and sometimes I'm like, hey, where are the dogs? Hey, and all of a sudden you'll see like smoke come up, and they're like backing out. It takes them a while to get out. They have to back out, but they just love it underground. I don't know. They're amazing dogs, but they let you know anytime there's somebody near the property or a deer comes around, or they hear a coyote or a wolf or whatever. They're just barking. Like they're gonna bark, and they bark and bark and bark. Use 2 bowls. That doesn't work, Joe. You have to separate them. There's no way I'm going to give him 2 bowls, because what happens is the one dog will follow wherever the other dog goes. He goes over there, and then he'll just eat. And then they tear everything up too. He just tears everything up. It doesn't matter what it is. If it can be tore up, he'll tear it up. He'll just tear it up. Like, unless it's like stainless steel or something, he doesn't mess with it. But how are the kitties doing? You want to see the kitties? You want to see some of the kitties? Hold on. Just 1 second, okay? I'll go get them really quick. 1 second. Okay. Meow meow kitties. Look at the little babies. Look at this little kitty. These guys had to be revived. I thought this one was dead. Oh, he's hissing. Look at, he's hissing. Are you gonna scratch me? Look at how cute. Look at how cute. Oh, Shisho. Can you say hello? Meow. See, they remember me shoving a big dropper of milk down their throat because they about froze to death. The mother wasn't taking care of them. So I had to become mama for all of them. In fact, I think I revived one of them that was dead. I don't know. It was literally like stiff like this. It was go. It was like, I mean, it was like this. Like it was all stretched out like this. And its arms were out and it wouldn't move. Like I just like it would just plop over and its tongue was sticking out like this. And it was just not, it didn't even look like I was breathing. And it was so cold. Like I picked it up and it was so cold. And I was like, oh, dude, it died. So I bring it over and it's laying there and it was like stiff. Like I thought it was like, I don't know if it was like muscles that contracted or what, but it was just like totally, completely stiff. So I started like pumping on it. Like, you know, maybe I was thinking revive it like CPR. So I tried to like CPR it, and then I warmed it up. I got these little heating pads that you put in hot water, and just laid them down. And they were really hot at first, so I had to let them cool a little bit. And then I just stuck them on top of so their body core could warm up. There was two of them that I thought were dead, and then they finally, after like a half hour or something, they finally started feeling like body temperature, room temperature, because it took them a while to get warm. I had them in front of the heater, and the heater wouldn't even warm them up. Like the heater was hot, but it wouldn't go inside. So that's when I got that little pads, and then they started barely eating. They were just barely eating. I had to like shove it down those two kitties' throat. There's five of them over there, so I got five. Three of them looked okay, but two of them looked like they were like, one of them looked dead, and the other one looked like it was almost dead. And then, but I revived them. I prayed for them, laid hands on them, and they came back. Look at how cute these guys are. The other ones are cute too. This one looks kind of like a Siamese. I'm not sure. I'm a cat connoisseur. Now, where is the cat daddy at? He would be like jealous. The cat daddy would be jealous. We have a crazy cat man that hangs out. He rescues cats, right? He's got lots of cats, but he calls himself the cat daddy. I don't think they're Persians. I don't think they're Persians. This one though kind of looks like this one kind of looks like a little cross between a Siamese. It's got really blue eyes. Bill, yeah, Bill, cat daddy. You have too many cats, you go crazy. Did you know that? That's why they call him Crazy Cat Lady. Oh, I got to tell you a story about this crazy cat lady. You want to hear a story? This really happened to me. Hold on, let me put these cats away. Yep, you gotta go. Now I put on this green. It's probably gonna mess up my green screen. I bet. Is it okay? That's okay. So anyway, so I'm kind of trying to warm up a little bit. So anyway, so this crazy cat lady story. This happened to me when I was, gosh, I must have been in my late 20s or so. Was it 20s? Yeah. Well, anyways, I was helping this friend of mine to get an apartment. Actually, I wasn't helping her. I was just going to go, you know, look at it and help her move in or something. And she was waiting on this apartment, and they extended it out. Like they kept saying, "Oh, it's not ready." She's like, it's another month. The person was supposed to have moved out. I had my deposit already, and I switched and transferred it, and now it's not available for another month. And I'm like, what? So she told me, she goes, "You're not going to believe this," but she said, they told me that there was a lady that lived in there, and they didn't know, nobody had ever gone into her apartment, but she had like 20 or 30 cats inside the house or inside the apartment, and the cats peed everywhere, like, and they just did everything everywhere, and she never cleaned it up. And so, like, the neighbors started smelling the cat, right? The people that were like below her and on the sides, because it was like a duplex or something, upstairs and downstairs, they started smelling the cats, right? Well, what happened is it soaked through the floors, like all the floorboards. It was all into the insulation. I mean, it got everywhere because these cats were everywhere. They peed everywhere for I don't know how long. Crazy cat lady. Crazy cat lady. So what they had to do was they had to take everything out. They had to re-strip the whole place down, like even the 2x4s and everything. They had to like redo the whole place because of these cats. And it even soaked into the concrete. You know how like the top story, they'll have like concrete? It actually soaked into the concrete. So they had to like treat the concrete and everything. That is like the worst story I've ever heard about cats. But it actually happened. So I'm a witness to it. We ought to tell Cat Daddy that story. Say, be careful, because you're going to turn into a crazy cat dad. Cat daddy. You're going to turn into a crazy cat daddy. There's a guy here that I guess he rescues cats. We know him. He's been a part of the fellowship for a long time. And he rescues cats. And does he rescue dogs too? I'm not sure what else he does. But yeah, he rescues cats. But I think he has a bunch of cats, doesn't he? Miguel? Doesn't he have a bunch of cats? Oh, he doesn't? He doesn't have cats anymore? I thought he rescued them. I thought he was, or is he not doing it anymore? You keep up on this? Come on, tell me. What's going on with Mr. Bill? So anyways, it's just a little fun time. Yeah, cats. Yeah, cats. He still has cats. So, and he even made like little walkways. Like, I mean, he's built like it's like cat Disneyland in his house, from what I understand. He's got rides for them too, I'm sure. But no, like cat walkways, and he was telling us what he was doing, and I'm like, are you serious? Okay. Too many cats for me. You got to be careful with cats, though. You shouldn't keep them inside, especially if you got babies. You don't want cats inside with babies. You have a cat, and you raised her with your dogs, and she growls and will sit and lay down when I say. Wow, that's crazy. I know sometimes cats rule the roost, man. Even you got a big dog, and the dogs will be afraid of the cats. My dogs go crazy when they see cats. So we only have 2 females, but they keep getting pregnant like twice a year, and we haven't fixed them. So we need to fix them, I guess, this time. This is too many kitties. They're worse than rabbits, man. We do have rabbits, but we're not breeding rabbits. But I heard They produce babies really quick. Your cat is listening to me. People said that their animals love to listen to me for some reason when I'm talking. I don't know. I'm the cat whisperer and the dog whisperer. I never did see that movie though. Spay your cats, I know. But I'm making a lot of people happy because we go to the grocery store and everybody's like, "Oh, I want a cat. I want a kitty." And they're like, "I was looking for one." So like I feel like I'm doing a service. It's kind of a good feeling to give away kitties and have everybody love them and pet them and squeeze them and call them George. Your cat's name is Kitty. Simple, but she loves it. Oh, just Kitty. Yeah, we had a cat where we named Kitty. We called it Kitty too. We called the cat Kitty. That was the name, Kitty. Yeah. So what's new, guys? Anything else new? What's been happening? This, like I said, this is just hangout, fun time, personal, whatever. Just whatever's on your mind, post it in the chat. Now, some of you guys might not be able to see the chat, but you can always enable the chat. If you're not able to see it, you can't see me. What do you mean you can't see me? Don't spay them. You might have to eat them. Really, huh? I can just reproduce cats and then have cat fillets. I see some of the craziest stuff on YouTube. They're eating the cats and the dogs. Trump. Did you see Trump's interview with Rogan, by the way? What did you guys think of that interview? I didn't see the whole thing, but I know he talked about aliens, and I heard he talked about Area 51. I watched about the first, 20 minutes of it. He comes across real, likable. He can be very likable at certain points, but at other points, I'm kind of like, I know there's a lot of people that are like, okay, I guess he made the economy better, but I could do without that. But I guess everybody's got their little quirks. But did you see the supermodel that's making accusations against Trump as of the last 24 hours? She's got all the stuff to prove that she was hanging out with him too. And I guess she said that him and Jeffrey Epstein were really close, like really close friends. Did you guys see that? When she was younger, but it was 30 years ago. So it was back in the mid 90s, early 90s. And she's coming out now at the perfect time, right? She's coming out right now. Like, why didn't she do it the first time around? This is the time she's coming out to share her story, and she's going into all the details. My goodness. Did anybody see that? I know a lot of people don't want to see it because they just want to vote. They don't want to get distracted with all the gossip, but or maybe it's truth. You don't know, man. You don't know now. You can't tell if it's true or not because there's so many lies that are floating around. And it could be true, but it could be a lie too. There's plausible deniability. There's plausible deniability. But anyways, it's interesting to hear what she says. But this election is going to be crazy. I think the roller coaster is about to start rolling. We're about to see the ups and the downs and the crazy turns and the upside downs and the crazy stuff coming around. So Karen, you say, I don't believe her. Really? Did you see, she knew him when she was 20. I think she must have been like 25. He was probably in his mid 40s, but she's got all the little things, the letterhead where he wrote to her and told her she could come over anytime. And, there's evidence obviously that she's been that she knew him, that she hung out with him. Midnight, early '90s. Now, who was Donald Trump married to in the early '90s? Let me see what his story is here, because I want to see if, I don't know, Mr. Donald Trump, Donald Trump. Let's see. Was he married to Marla Maples at that time, or was he married to Ivanka? Ivanka Trump made some pretty crazy accusations against Trump too, about what he did, which I thought was interesting. I never had heard that until just yesterday. I was like, really? That really had Ivanka? And then she had an unfortunate, fall from her stairs. Like, I wonder if that's related. No, but she did say there was some kind of weird stuff. Did you see this picture? Did you see this picture meme? Oh, this is funny. I just love the way people do stuff. Look at this meme. Here's the meme magic. Come again, Biden. He's like, you want to have a nice body like mine? You come and eat at McDonald's. You come and eat at McDonald's. I love to serve McDonald's. Did you ever see that when he was in office, when he served all these, I don't know if it was football teams or something. He had them all there, and I don't know if it was college football or something. And he served them all McDonald's and I think Taco Bell, and it was like all fast food stuff. It's like, are you kidding? You know how bad McDonald's is for you when you eat? Just the fries alone, there's more carcinogens in a thing of fries than there is in a pack of cigarettes. Did you know that? There's more carcinogens in a large fry than there is in a carton, or in a carton of cigarettes, or not a carton, but a box of cigarettes or whatever. So you don't want to eat fast food. The bread's bad. They put all kinds of crazy additives in it. The meat's bad. You don't know what's in it. The fries are terrible, processed, poisonous, kill you. And then on top of that, the drinks are filled with all kinds of high fructose corn syrup. That'll kill you too. Like, they just want to kill everybody. Did you see that post I made on here about that lady and what she was talking about, the post-humanist, human, what was it called again? It's pretty interesting to listen to. Let me see if I can find it. Oh, post-humanism and it's true when you really listen to it. I know it sounds kind of out there a little bit, but the world is out there right now with all this technology, and it may seem like sci-fi or something, but it's legit. I've looked at all of it. I've looked into it, done a lot of research. A lot of this, nanotechnology is legit. And, the way it communicates with RF and how they can manipulate it in your body, et cetera, splicing and editing DNA even. I mean, gene therapy. I mean, seriously, what do they want? What do they want to do to you? What are they wanting to do to us? And then they're trying to trick us into taking it. Seriously? Trick everybody into taking it? And you got to think about what they're doing to our skies, with these chemtrails. I know people say, well, that's a conspiracy theory. Well, not now. It's not. Now it's a fact now. It used to be a conspiracy theory. But what in the world are they spraying the skies with all the time? When you see these, it looks like somebody that's some kind of drug dealer got tracks all over his arm. What do they call that, tracks when you're doing heroin? You got all these lines all over your body, all over your veins. It's like the skies, man. They're just like littered with just chemicals, and it's falling down. People don't realize it, but they're breathing it in. The ground is absorbing it. Your fruit, your produce is it's all coming into your produce, and these are all heavy metals. They're all metals. I know barium is one of them. That's an ingredient. Barium. I forgot what the other one was. You just gotta wonder. Ugh. The food is bioengineered. Yeah. So when you get a chance, go check out that video that I posted on here. It's about, I could probably play it. You want me to play it? Let's see. Oh, here's that gravity feeder I was gonna make. Or I'm getting ready to make. See, check this out. It's a gravity feeder. You can put it in there, all kinds of food, and I don't know if that's going to be good for chickens, though, because chickens make a mess. You just want them to put their head in there and get it. You don't want their body to get up on there because they This is probably not going to be good for the chickens. This is not for the chickens. This might be if you had a goat or something, or but he has the gravity feeder for the water that I was looking at. It was pretty cool. But anyways, here's that other video I was talking about. Just check this out. I mean, you got to really be familiar with what she's talking about to get it. Because if you're not familiar with a lot of these terms and you haven't done the research, and I know a lot of you guys out there research because you listen to me and I'm talking about all this stuff. So you'll probably follow what she's saying. You'll be able to follow it. But some people don't have maps. Some people don't do a lot of research on this type of thing, so they might completely think this is, cuckoo town. So, yeah, but take a listen. And it is a TikTok video, by the way. It's a TikTok video. So, yeah. But I'm sure it wasn't on TikTok first. It was somewhere else. Somebody put it on TikTok. That doesn't mean it's a bad thing. But here we go.
The final goal is to eradicate humanity as we know it. Once you understand the final destination, it becomes much easier to look back and identify the psychological conditioning, the biological tampering, the cultural grooming, and the educational prepping that we have been subjected to for decades in preparation to making us accept a post-human future. It takes a lot of physical and psychological abuse to get an intelligent species like ours to agree to its own extinction. Most, if not all, that has transcended in the last 60 years was designed to get us closer to accepting such a dystopian reality. Whether you care to accept it or not, we live in a hyper-controlled matrix where our perception of reality is meticulously planned, managed, and executed in order to control and steer us in whichever direction they wish. And the direction is a post-human world. For this, they first needed to destabilize, dehumanize, and demoralize humanity through every means possible. The destruction of the nuclear family, children being indoctrinated by the state, abortion, the eradication of God and spirituality from education, life in megacities and away from nature, toxic food, air and water, social media, replacing real human connection and interaction, engineered financial crisis and taxation, endless wars and massive migration, stress, anxiety, depression, drugs and alcohol, constant fear-mongering, moral relativism as the new religion, and I could go on and on about how humanity has been influenced and forced to move away from all the things that give us strength, security, purpose, and meaning. A weak, immoral, disconnected, ignorant, and unhealthy population is an easy target for the next stage, the creation of an entire generation of androgynous beings. Masculinity is under attack psychologically, culturally, and biologically. Women are being replaced in sports, entertainment, and politics by men pretending to be women. And children are being indoctrinated at school to think that gender is a choice. The transgender movement is not a grassroots movement. It comes from the top. It has nothing to do with people's freedom of expression, sexuality, or civil rights. It's an evil psyop with a clear agenda to get us closer to transhumanism by making us question the most fundamental notion of human identity, our gender.
Wow. Is that crazy or what? That's pretty crazy. Yeah, Scott, thank you for sharing that. It was good. And it's true. A lot of that is actually right on the money with what's happening. You know, the whole transhumanism movement. It's really about, that's why Elon Musk is fearful about the future of what's coming. And he says there's a chance that we will be, we will become obsolete and the robots will actually destroy us. The AI will destroy us. And they have the ability to do these things. I don't think you guys realize how powerful the AI really is. And in the hands or in the manipulative control of a certain body that might exploit it, it could be very deadly to large populations. Well, look at what Israel did. They used AI weapons on Gaza. The AI basically made choices on where to target, what to target, where to drop bombs, and this is all AI intelligence. And they said, there was a human that actually had to confirm it. The AI didn't just make well, I'm sure they just rubber stamped it. Yeah, like AI said that, okay, click, click, click. They probably just confirmed whatever it was, because how are they going to, it all connects to everything, like your cell phone usage and, your conversations, who you are, where you live, where you're at. Your cell phone tells you exactly. AI knows exactly. Look, there it goes. AI sends a bomb to that car. Boom, it's gone because you said something that wasn't right. Right? That's the world we're going to be living in. Now, I wanted to show you what Mike Adams said. I kind of agreed with him on this. There's some things I think Mike Adams he's definitely saying some interesting stuff, but he's the health ranger. If you don't know who that is, that Europa documentary is awesome. He talks about, if you haven't seen this Europa documentary, it's mind blowing, mind expanding. Has anybody ever seen the Europa documentary? It's I'm not saying I agree with everything in there, but a lot of it is very good. How many of you guys have seen that Europa documentary? Anyway, he just made a mention of it, so that's why I said it. But here's what he said. Let me see if I can find this here. Let's see. He says so much stuff on here. Let me see. What's going to happen on the we'll talk about this in a minute. Okay, so here's what he said. Okay, so he's kind of like a scientific guy, he's got he's got degrees in microbiology or something. I forget what it is. He tests food. He does all the testing on what's in, what the different chemicals are influencing your food. I mean, he does all this microscopy, I think they call it, or something like that. Anyway, he's got all the machinery to do all this too. So he's like one of these brainiac type guys. But he says, this is what he says. Nearly every molecule the FDA, EPA, CDC, USDA says is good. That is, he says every molecule that all of these agencies say are good for you is actually toxic, deadly poison. glyphosate, sodium nitrate, MSG, atrazine, remdesivir, etc. At the same time, nearly every molecule the government says is bad for you is a natural cure, a key element in protecting your health and life. Carbon dioxide, ivermectin, nicotine, cannabinoids, lateral, etc. Anyone who wants to live should reject, and he puts it in big caps, literally every piece of health advice from every government agency, while anyone who wants to die should fully embrace government agencies because their advice will kill you quickly. You could ask all those who have been taking the C stuff, the CJ, the juice, the magic potion, and you can ask anyone who has been taking these. You could ask all of those who have been taking this, except many of them are already dead. So you can't really ask them because they're already gone. But it's true though, like they tell you not to eat eggs and that eggs are bad for you. Remember? I specifically remember, and some of you guys may be old enough to remember this, back in I think it was maybe the 80s, maybe it was the 70s. I don't know. I think it was the 70s or 80s. Give eggs a break. Remember, they were telling everybody eggs were bad for you. Eggs are going to kill you. They're going to give you heart disease. There's all kinds of cholesterol in there. And it's bad. It's bad, bad. Don't eat eggs. Nobody ate eggs. Everybody stopped eating eggs. And then they're like, oh, well, wait a minute. Eggs are okay. Give eggs a break. Come on. Bring back eggs. Eggs are good for you again. And then they started doing the whole thing over again. Now it's, bird flu and whatever else. They're going to tell you, chickens are bad. The eggs could be contaminated. You might get something that's not good for you. But an egg is like a vitamin. It's one of the most healthy foods you could eat. It's got so many things that are found in eggs that aren't even found in any other foods are within the yolks. I mean, that's why the little chicks can live like 4 or 5 days without even water or food once they're hatched. They've got all that nutrient that they got from the egg yolk. And it's so healthy that these chickens can live without water and food for like 3 or 4 days when they first hatch. But literally, it's what causes the chickens to grow in their initial stage of growth and become so healthy. But if you really look at all the ingredients in an egg, it's so good for you. And then they tell you cholesterol is bad, right? Well, there's good cholesterol too. And an egg has good cholesterol. It's not bad cholesterol. Well, if you kill the cholesterol and you take those statins, you're killing the good cholesterol as well. There's a way to stop getting the bad cholesterol, but don't kill off the good cholesterol, because the good cholesterol is what actually helps you to think clear. It's what keeps you from having Alzheimer's. You killed the good cholesterol and you're going to get Alzheimer's. So, taking statin drugs is not a good idea. But then again, they've got all these cures for everything that they say is a bad thing, right? But anywho's, I can't believe it's not butter. Oh, hey, Chuck. What's going on, my man? Nano, and then you're starting to read all these new food labels now that say, it says, but it says like, you got bioengineered food in here, or bioengineered ingredients. What was the other one? Somebody was just saying it here. Raw milk is the best. I know they don't want you to drink raw milk. They're trying to shut down even the small little farmers, like the little Amish people that are making their milk. They're selling their milk from their cows. Oh no, that's bad. You can't do that. No, you're gonna kill somebody. Like they don't kill enough people with medical malpractice and all these other drugs they're prescribing that they're making a fortune off of, and they're worried about healthy milk. Come on, go get a life. Amen. I mean, seriously, nanotechnologies and baby food and whatever else. My goodness. I'm serious. I went to listen to this. I'm serious. I'm not joking. I just went to a dollar store, or not a dollar store. I think it's the dollar. Yeah, it's like a dollar store, I guess, or one of those stores where everything, it's not dollar store, but it's like a cheap kind of store. Like you can get all the basic things that you need that they carry, like they got the milk, they got the eggs, they got some of the freezer type foods, and then they got their can section, but it's not really all that big, right? And they got all the chips and everything. I go in there and I'm looking for something, just to add, just to get for the kids. And I'm telling you, I go down the aisles. I'm like poison, 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 made in China, China products, China products, China products, fake cheese. It's all fake. That's done. That's done. I can't get that. That's got all this drinks. They're all filled with, they've all got, high fructose corn syrup in them. All the bread, you look at the bread, it's all just, it says it'll cause cancer on the back. Literally, it says will cause cancer if you eat it in California. Here in California, you got to eat it. It's because it's California. But it says, yeah, it'll cause cancer. There's ingredients in here that will cause cancer. So I really want to buy it? You really want me to buy that bread? It says it's going to cause cancer? Are you kidding? And then it says bioengineered ingredients on top of that. Okay, no, I can't buy anything here. So what did I do? What did I buy? I'm trying to remember what I bought. I bought 1 can of bush beans. It's the only one I could find that was chili. They had one left. I bought that. And then what was the other thing? I'm trying to remember what else. Oh, I bought one of these. I don't know if it was like it says cane sugar on it. So I was like, okay, at least cane sugar. It was a little lemonade. What else was the other one? Trying to think of what the other one was. There was something else I bought, but nothing. I can't even buy chips now. I feel guilty buying the chips for the kids. Like I can't buy the chips anymore. Like I used to buy them chips every once in a while, even for like little treats, like, oh, they love chips, like they love nachos or something. or the, what are the ones? The flaming Cheetos or something like that. But I can't even buy those now. I can't. It's just like, even if it was like a treat once in a great while, I still feel like I can't do that. It's like, to me, it's just like packaged poison. We got to learn how to eat healthy and eat natural and get back to farming, get back to nature, get out of the cities if you can. Pray that God delivers you, man. He not only does he have to deliver your heart and soul, but he needs to deliver your physical body from this environment of death. But literally, we're in this world, and it is a dying world. The scripture says that we are marching toward the, toward the grave, but our outward man is perish. It says, though our inner man is being renewed. I'm sorry, though our outward man is perishing, our inner man is being renewed day by day. So our outward man is we are on the death march, but we should have a renewal of our soul and spirit on a daily basis, getting us closer and more ready for the world that is to come. Is that you and me? Or is that you? Because I know that's where I want to be. I hope you're on the same path. It's butter. Is it real or is it margarine? Remember that commercial? Margarine is terrible for you too. I don't think margarine is good for you. You don't want to eat that fake butter or the fake sugars. Don't get any of the fake sweeteners. The stevia is good. I think stevia is a natural sweetener that comes from a plant. And from what I understand, it's harmless, right? Don't tell me it's harmful because I use stevia. I don't even really use sugar. But all these other sweeteners, they're poison. Don't drink anything that has these terrible poison, sweeteners in the they're chemical sweeteners. I don't know what they're made of, but those things will kill you too. And diet drinks. Do not drink diet drinks. Low fat is terrible. Yeah, you want to eat fat. You got to have fats. You got to have like oils. Like you want to have olive oils. Olive oil is good for you. Eat a good steak with some fat on it. Don't be afraid to eat a steak, but make sure the steak is not being grown in, some GMO'd farm with a bunch of, juice that they're giving with all kinds of technologies that they have today. You want to make sure you get it from local farmer. There's local farmers that grow cows that don't put all that crap in their cows. A keto diet, every once in a while it's okay to go on a keto diet, but I don't think you should not eat meat. Isn't keto, isn't that without meat? Or is that without carbs? I think that's without the carbs, right? Now keto, they do encourage you to eat protein, right? Olive oil is good on your skin, yeah. Oh, Gatorade is bad for you too. Now, see, I used to give my kids Gatorade until I found out, Gatorade is bad. I gave them, like, no more Gatorade. We can't drink Gatorade anymore. It's got all those, oh gosh, man, they're saying that Gatorade causes cancer. Did you see that? Gatorade and all the dyes that are in, like all the candy dyes. I guess it doesn't really matter because we're at the culmination of the age anyway, right? Everything is going to go kaboom in any minute. like I just feel like we're just waiting for the inevitable anyway. Red dye, yeah, and blue. They got the blue one, I guess. Okay, I'll just tell you what. Not too long ago, my kids had a birthday party and they were eating, and I've always said the same thing. Whenever you eat red frosting, it has a funny bitter taste to it. Red frosting. Has anybody ever tasted red frosting and it tastes terrible? I wonder if that it tastes like poison to me. But I've always thought red frosting tasted terrible and bitter. Well, my kids said the same thing. They're like, "Oh, this red frosting tasted terrible." And I'm like, "Don't eat it." Hummus is great. Healthy protein. Yep. Real maple syrup. Yeah, you can make your own maple syrup too. I got some maple taps. I'm going to try it this year if I can find a few maple trees. Make my own maple syrup. It's not hard to do. You just got to get a bunch of the sap. You got to get enough of it because you boil it down, and once you get it boiled down, it turns into hardly anything. So you got to have at least 10 gallons of sap, and then it'll boil down to like maybe, was it like 1 gallon of maple syrup? And I'm talking real maple syrup here, right out the tree. But you got to live up in the colder climates, areas where all these maple trees are. You got to do it right. Was it right before freezing, or right at the end of the freeze is when you do it? I think. Is that right? Does anybody know how to do tap maple trees? I think you got to tap them right before the freeze ends, right? You can't wait till after the freeze is over. You have to do it right before the freeze is over. You made your own from your maple tree, Lauren? January in Rhode Island? Oh, wow. So you do it like January, huh? So did they say January? You got to do it right before the freeze ends, right? Isn't that the way it is? Maybe I'm wrong on that. I don't know. It's way too much work, but it's fun. You got to learn how to do stuff. Just think, you can't go to your store and get sugar. You can go out and make some maple syrup. There you go. You got your sugar. People use birch. Oh, you can make birch syrup too, right? Birch? Birch syrup? Oh, so Dan says it's 30 to 1. Okay, so yeah, it's more like 30 to 1. So if you got 30 gallons, you're only going to get 1 gallon of maple syrup. Oh, man. Birch. Birch syrup? Does it taste good? Is it sweet? Team Alaska? Do you live in Alaska? You saw you saw three crazy kids loading the cart with Kool-Aid and a crazy lady with three crazy kids. Rose, that was my story. Did you guys ever hear my story about when I went to the? It was probably one of these like, no, actually it was a grocery store actually, and I went to this grocery store. The same thing. What you just said was the same thing I saw. I think she had three kids too. That's kind of weird. Are you sure you're not telling my story? I told this story the other day. I think I told it like a week or two ago. So what happened was I went to the store and I'm standing in line and there's this lady. She's kind of hefty, she looks like she's on crack, and she's putting all this food. It's not food. She's putting all of this processed everything, cakes, chips, Fruit Loops, just everything, candies. I mean, everything that she's putting on there is processed. Everything. And I'm sitting there looking at everything she's putting on the conveyor belt, and it's a lot. It's like probably a good overloaded shopping cart full of stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, oh my gosh, and I'm looking at the kids, and they all look like they're on crack. They look like they're crack babies or something. But they're older. They're like 7, 10, 4, and they're 5 or something like that. And there's like 3 of them. I'm pretty sure there was 3. And this was a while back, but they all look like they were on crack. You know how crack people are like jittery, and they got this kind of pasty look, and they got wild eyes. They got kind of like a wild look to them. And you're like, that's a crackhead. That's a crackhead. That's a crackhead. Now, maybe they were on crack too, but I think it's just the sugar and all that processed crap that's making them like look crazy. Like they don't look like they're normal. They all look the same. They all look the same. And then she pulls out her EBT card or whatever it is, the food stamps, and she just buys it all on food stamps. Dandelion tea is good. Yeah, McGrath. I think I like that too. We got dandelion tea as well. Dandelion tea is supposed to be really good for you. Hey, I want to know more about that birch, because we got birch trees up here. So birch, do you tap it just like you do a maple tree at the same time while it's free, like right in the first part of winter or the last part of winter? You just tap it and you do the same thing? Is it the similar process as a maple, or is it different? I was just wanting to know because I might want to try birch, and it's supposed to be like sweet too. Does it taste like? What does it taste like? Maple syrup? What does it taste like? Birch syrup has a distinct, slightly tangy taste, often described as molasses-like, with hints of caramel. It's used in savory dishes, marinades, or as a glaze rather than a traditional pancake syrup. Oh, wow. That's pretty cool. That's awesome. I didn't know that. I'll have to see if I can try that. So there's a lot of birch trees around. Dandelion tea, good. Yeah, I was drinking a lot of that dandelion tea during the whole 2020 China sneeze. I was they said that was supposed to help too. But I do love maple syrup. Yes, I do. I love maple syrup. Dandelion root tincture was said to chase bugs from the body. That's what I heard. That's why I was taking it. It's supposed to do other things too. It increases your immune system pretty well too, from what I understand. Let's see, what else? Is there anything going on in the world that I'm missing? Because I haven't been looking at the news today. My wife is taking a little a little break as well. So we've kind of been on a break time, a little break. These are the breaks. Break it up, break it up, break it up. Have you been watching what's been going on with some of the cultural stuff? Like, oh, I don't know, like, well, we got the election. Let's talk about the election. Let's not get off on the other topic, but the election thing. What do you guys think? Were we going to see chaos break out before the election, or are they going to they're going to slow roll Trump in? I think Trump is going to get in, and even if something big goes down, I think it would be a plus for him, because he is the candidate, the chaos candidate, or as Lance Walden wrote the book, The Chaos President, I think he called him, and he's a pro-Trump guy, he's a total Trump guy, but he says, and people have said that Trump thrives off of chaos. He does. He thrives off of chaos. And I remember that meme where it shows Trump, and he's got his hair's all like windy, and it says, they said that the storm was coming, but I am the storm. And I kind of agree with that. I kind of agree that it's like Trump is behind a lot of the chaos that is coming. But, is he going to take advantage of it and actually, on the bottom line for everybody, is it going to come through? I just think our world is just too out of control right at the moment for anything good to come out of what's fixing to happen. Unless China backs down and Russia backs down and all these countries don't decide to take advantage of our situation, because we're in a very precarious moment in America right at the moment. And I think that they would just love to flip the whole narrative on the global police, on the global world reserve currency. They would just love to just overturn everything and just watch us implode, and just descend into civil unrest and chaos within. And then who knows, maybe they'll lob in a few different things to kind of make it even worse while it's happening. I think that they're going to try to facilitate some, out of control situation. That's what I think is going to happen. We always hope for the best and we hope for the best outcome, but there's too many strange things that make it seem like we're going in that direction. I don't think it's going to. Now, let's just say, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. So if Trump wins, what's the left going to do? They're saying he's Hitler, right? They're basically saying he's Hitler. So is that going to give them reason to? We're going to be living in an environment and in a climate. It's going to be like Germany. Like, you're going to have all these collaborators, and you're going to have people that are dubbed the enemy, even if they're not the enemy. They're going to be looked at as an enemy because you're not loyal. You're not a loyal. You're not someone that's lockstep and saying your pledge, and well, the good leader. Everybody has to smile when the good leader is, or if something's bad happening, everybody has to cry. Like the North Koreans, like something bad happens. So all of the North Koreans have to cry. If they don't cry, they're picked out of the crowd. That one's not crying. Bring him over here and let's torture him. Oh, that one's not laughing. Okay, he's supposed to be laughing at what the joke Kim Jong-un said. Oh, bring him over here. Let's torture him. Are we going to have the dear leader where we're all going to have to be in lockstep, or we're going to be considered an enemy? Because we don't have groupthink. We're not trying to save America. Like, this is where it's going to get. It's going to get so bad that if you're not for us, then you're against us. Right? Can't you be somewhere in the middle? You can't. No, there's no middle ground. You're either for us or you're against us. I'm sure that's what they were saying pre-World War II too, over there in German land, because things were serious. They had to pull the country together. There was enemies all over. The whole world was falling apart, and they wanted to pull Germany down, right? They wanted to destroy Germany. But they had a strong leader. He was reviving the economy. He was bringing it all back around. Like I said, you could be extreme left or extreme right. To me, I'm not anything. I'm just a citizen of heaven. You can just call me a citizen of heaven. I am a monk. Okay, how about that? You can just say I'm a monk living out in a cave somewhere. I don't have anything to do with what's going on here. Okay? You guys can all talk amongst yourselves. I'm going to go take a sabbatical. I'm feeling a little verklempt. I'm going to go hang out over here and pray. Like Jesus did, He's like, they still try to figure out how to get him, though. They tried to tie it to politics. They tried to tie it to religion. They were saying it was because he broke the law. They was trying to start a revolution. He was not loyal to Caesar, and et cetera, et cetera. They're going to do the same thing to you that they did to me, Jesus said. So you can expect it. If you're a true believer, they're going to do the same thing to you. The dear leader causes the birds to sing each morning. Oh. Oh. I'm just, what I hear when I listen to Fox, because I got serious, and sometimes when I drive, I listen to Fox News, and I'm sitting there, all I hear is Trump commercials. Hey, we got a new watch. The watches, at one point they said the watches were numbered, and now they say they're not for investment purposes, and there's no numbers on them at all, but they're really nice. You're going to want to get a Trump watch. The Trump sneakers, not an investment, not for investment purpose. They say the same thing. These are gold sneakers, gold. And he talks about his other sneakers that he had before. They sold out in an hour. But these, I hear the commercial still for months. I guess these ones didn't sell out as quick, right? Or what about the Bible? The Trump, what is it called? The Make America Great Again Bible or something like that? It's got a constitution in it, and I think the Bill of Rights is in it or something. Did Trump sign it too? I think did he sign it? I don't know. But they said there's a channel that reviews Bibles online, and all they do is review Bibles. That's all they do. They tell you how good it is, the quality of it, the paper, everything. The guy says, these are cheap, made in China. These are the kind of Bible quality that you find in a hotel. And they're selling them for $80. It's not worth it. That's what they said on YouTube. So Trump's Bible is hotel quality. I'm just telling you what they said. And I understand. I wouldn't want to buy a Bible like that. If it was $80, I don't care if it's, in support of whatever. I mean, I want to buy at least something that's some kind of quality, and it has some kind of something special. Or let's see, I just love those messianic NFT cards. Collect them all, Pokemon. There's a Charizard in there somewhere, I'm sure. That's very valuable. And one day, it'll be worth its weight in gold. Charizard Trump. He's like the Charizard. There's a Charizard Trump in there somewhere. You got to find it. You got to buy them all, though, to find it. Yeah, you got to buy them all to find it. Anybody used to be into Pokemon? The Pokemon cards. Oh, gosh, that was crazy. Pokemon was crazy. Did anybody some of you guys might have been collecting Pokemon cards when you were a kid, when it was a crazy thing. Anybody out there that young collecting Pokemon cards? You might have saw me on the street corner hawking them. It's special. It's so special. I like it when Trump always says it's special. It's very special. You know who he reminds me of? The church chat, the church lady. Did you ever see the SNL skit, the church chat lady? She's all, "Isn't that special? Isn't that special?" Oh man, this is just amazing. This is so fun. The cat. The more you're in, let's see, California. That's exactly the way Governor Schwarzenegger used to say it. California. Doesn't that sound like Schwarzenegger? Come to California. It's a great place. I'm a governor here in California. My name is Arnold. I got big muscles. Your muscles are like, I like the skit, Hans and Franz. Hans and Franz, those are like little spaghetti arms. We want to pump you up. I am Arnold. I want to pump you up. Bring back the church lady. He's kind of one of the one comedian that I really kind of like is Dana Carvey. He always did great impersonations. And he wasn't really a bad kind of nasty comedian, like he was a good comedian. Oh no, does he got more sneakers? No way. Timberland, you got to be kidding me. Why does Trump's face look so weird there? Is that just the picture itself? All right, so Trump is selling more shoes. What's up with the shoes? Is he trying to be like P. Diddy or something or what? I mean, wasn't P. Diddy doing all these things like Trump sneaker or like, shoes line and let's see. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Fight, fight, fight. Donald J. Trump. Trump sneakers just dropped a Timberland style boot. Really? I'll bet you it was made in China. Only $200? Oh wait, only $2,000. Oh, see, they're numbered. Now what they'll do, here's the marketing gimmick. They'll make these, they'll say they're numbered, and then they'll bring out another one that's like it, because I think that's what they did with the watches. They had watches that were numbered, and then they brought out a regular line of watches that was probably exactly the same without numbers. So I guess the ones with numbers are investment quality, right? So these are investment quality. Only 2,000. High demand. How much are they? Let's see how much they are. Oh, there's 8 of them that are randomly autographed out of 2,000. Couldn't he have randomly autographed like 50 of them? That would have been better than just 8. Like, oh my gosh, it's like the superstar the celebrity is going to sign my book. He's going to sign my shoes. He's going to sign my shirt. Oh my goodness, you got to be kidding me. I'll never wash it again. He touched me. He touched me. He touched me and made me whole. Oh, he touched me. No, he didn't. Only Jesus can touch you. Only Jesus, right? Amen. Only he can do it. They don't even really give a good picture on here. I don't know why there's not a good picture on here. This isn't GQ magazine? Oh, by the way, thank you very much, Miguel, for sharing that. Miguel, Brass Monkey, shared that little ditty. Not P. Diddy. I mean, just a little ditty, because it's what they say. They share a little ditty. I don't know why he chose the name Diddy, but I know he changed that, though. He did change that. He changed it to Puff Daddy. No, he went from Puff Daddy. No, he went from Sean Combs to Puff Daddy to P. Diddy to just Diddy, and then he went to Love. He changed his name to Love. Wasn't it? Love? Like, why would you change your name to Love? Isn't there a copyright on that name? I don't know why I can't see the actual picture. Where's the picture? Like, it's not really, it doesn't let me see the full picture. All right, so I'm just going to open it up here. Hold on. All right, here's the picture full. That's what they look like there. I had to download the picture in order to see it. Fight, fight, fight. The working man. I'm sure he's going to do a stiletto. What do they call it? The high heel one for the women. He'll probably do one for the women with a high heel or something. What do you think? What's next? What else can we milk them with? This reminded me of after 2020 when all of the Trump people were all selling everything. We're going to get them back in office. Send us donations. We're going to bring them back. We're going to take it to court. We need your money, though. We're going to sell you some more pillows and well, I don't know. We'll figure it out. Vitamins and like, just send us your money. Our country is dying. Send us your money. Come and join us in this crusade. And you know how much money people made off of all of this? I sat back and I watched all the grifters, and I really got sick to my stomach watching all of these people make money off of the country falling apart. Literally, the country was falling apart, and it's just in pieces now. All that's left is just pieces, but people got rich as it was falling apart, or they made a lot of money off of it. And a lot of these false predictions, people that, they're like the Dixon psychics out there. Remember that guy? What was his name? Dixon something psychic. He was everybody was predicting this and predicting that, and none of it ever happened. People still follow these guys. Why do you follow somebody that isn't accurate? And that never materialized. In fact, it was wrong. After the fact, 2020, hindsight, we're looking back. They're all fake, all false. Everything they said didn't happen. I mean, some of them you can sit there and year after year for the last 4 years, they've said this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen. None of it happened. And it's all about Trump. They're like Trump prophets. All they do is prophesy about politics and about Trump, and none of it ever came to pass. And then it reminds me of the whole Q thing too. Like the people are all in the queue. Well, yeah, it was a psyop. Yeah, there was something going on there. Yeah, but was it good? Why are you following it? I mean, it's interesting to look at because there's something going on there, but man, don't believe it. Because that's what they're wanting you to do. They're manipulating all of you out there that are into that, to thinking a certain thing and thinking a certain way, setting you up for what they're going to do. And maybe this is the setup. Oh, but there's a purge coming anyway. So Dark MAGA is here. Dark MAGA is here. It's okay. Everybody will pay. Anybody who's resisting is going to have to pay. That ain't going to work. A house divided against itself will fall. Everybody's going to come down with this whole house of cards. And only the rich people are going to get on their planes and they're going to fly to their bunkers or wherever they're going to go to wait out, the what you would call Mad Max in the streets of America. Who knows what else is going to happen with our enemies, but to take advantage of this. But if we truly are Mystery Babylon, as many people think, prophetically that we might be that great city that falls apart in one day. I mean, can you imagine catastrophic economic failure? Just everything falling apart all at once? I mean, I think that's what they're calling the Great Reset. And George Soros had said 10 years ago, I don't know, is he dead yet? I think he died, didn't he? Isn't George Soros dead? I thought he was dead. He said, he talks so. Let me see. George Soros. He was saying, "Oh no, he's still alive. You got to be kidding me. He's 94 years old. He must be using adrenochrome just like Henry Kissinger. Didn't Kissinger live to be like 110 or something like that? I mean, like that dude never would die. Henry Kissinger, how old was he when he died? 100 and he was 100 years old. So he died in 2023. He was born in 1923. But anyway, so George Soros says, well, the economy of the globe, we got to wait for this great reset. And the American dollar has to orderly decline. There needs to be an orderly decline of the dollar. So they give rise to the yuan of China. The engine of the global economy will be China. But an orderly decline of the dollar. I like the way they say orderly, because, like, how do you orderly decline? I think at a certain point, there's a catastrophic failure where everything, like, falls apart. I don't think it's an orderly decline. It's like, is there an orderly exit when there's a fire? Just orderly exit out the door. Listen to the voice of reason. We must do this for your own good. The fire has been lit. The place is ablaze, but there's an orderly exit here. Everybody just line up and wait for your turn to go through the door. Orderly. It's like right. This is like musical chairs on a sinking Titanic. Like, at a certain point, you're not going to have a chair, okay? Either there's not enough lifeboats. What are you going to throw off the lifeboat? Remember they had that lifeboat thing when you were younger? They would talk about the moral choices that we make. Do we throw off the there was a song about that. Do we throw off the retard? Who do we throw off the lifeboat? We don't got enough for everybody. One person has to go over. Should we throw grandma off? I mean, she's kind of old. Or do we throw off the person that's, mentally handicapped? Because he's really not as valuable as this person, seriously. I mean, I don't know how I got off onto that. It's like, oh, well, it's Saturday night. I guess we're just hanging out here. His son Ben has taken over. Yeah, Ben Soros. He looks kind of like a little weasel too. Doesn't Ben Soros look like a little weasel? Alexander, is it Alexander or is it Ben? I don't know. Maybe it's Alexander. I don't think it is Ben. I think Ben is not correct. Is that true? I think it's Alexander. Or is it Victor? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's Alexander. Alexander sounds more accurate. Maybe he's got a few kids. I don't know. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, he does have Alexander Soros, Gregory Soros. He's got a daughter named Andrea. And he also has a son named Robert Soros and Jonathan Soros. So he's got a few kids. So this Jonathan Soros, I'm looking at his one of his kids. He's 54 years old, and it says he's a co-founder of Give Lively LLC. It's a social enterprise to facilitate philanthropic giving. That's what I want to do. I want to be a philanthropic giver. How do I do that? Well, you just got to send money to me so that I can philanthropically give. Actually, he inherited a lot, so I'm sure it's his dad's money, right? But yeah, if you're a philanthropic giver, does that just mean that you've just got so much money you don't know what to do with it? You just got to give it away to make yourself look good so that everybody loves you for all the terrible things you did to get to where you're at. You got to somehow alter that perception by giving, by doing good deeds. Kind of like Bill Gates, the Gates Foundation. Helping people to depopulate, right? The world needs to be depopulated. I'm going to help them out. We've got these nice little things that we do for people in the foreign countries, and we facilitate, just like his dear old dad was a, what do they call it? What do they call it? Ugh. Trying to think of the word now. Well, it has to do with abortion, but they call it a certain thing where they eugenics. Yeah, he's a eugenicist. He's a eugenicist, and he's going to help the world out by lowering population on planet Earth with women's health care services and jabs for all, especially those third world countries, because they need to stop having so many kids. And so they asked him a question. Well, how does that? How are you helping people by lowering their birth rates and or their lives? Maybe. I mean, really, it could be their lives as well. That's a good way to do it, stealthily, right? This is philanthropic, though. This is a campaign of love for for Mother Earth. We're here to help the future for those who are the 1%, so they'll have a world to live in with all their new technology forever, because obviously they're going to stop the aging gene. You won't have to die. And so they asked him, how are you going to do this? How does that work? Well, women in Africa have usually 10 or 15 babies because, well, they're afraid that they're going to lose a number of those babies because they die because of their environment. Not enough food, disease. So they have to have 10 children or more. We're going to help them out. We're going to give them these nice little shots that are going to prolong their lives so they don't have to have 10 children. They won't die. They only have to have 2. That doesn't make any sense. But that was his excuse. That was what he said, that he was going to help them so they didn't have to fear losing their children to diseases and other problems. And now they just want to have 2 now because that's all they need now. They don't have to worry about losing 8 of them. It didn't make no sense. But anyways, that's George Soros mindset, and the friends of them, Bill Gates and people like that. Did you know that Maria Bartiromo, I think her name is, on Fox News? You know who that is, don't you? Maria Bartiromo. You guys know who she is? Did you know that she's a young leader at the World Economic Forum, the WEF? She's a WEFer. Did you know that? Maria Bartiromo, the conservative talk show pundit there, news pundit on Fox News. She's a grad of the young global leaders. And they've penetrated all the cabinets of many nations. As Klaus Schwab would say, we penetrated all the cabinets of so many countries. We are in the belly of their beast. We are changing for them from within. They will soon be our slaves. And they're coming into our 15-minute cities, owning nothing and being happy. It's pretty crazy when you think about these 15-minute cities, or as Trump likes to call them, freedom cities. Yeah, he's rebranded it. He's rebranded it and he's selling it just like a good closer would. A good closer would sell it phenomenally. It's very special. It's a freedom city. And you're going to love it. Everything's free. Free internet, free cubicle, everything that you own. Actually, you don't own anything because you rent it all. Everything's rented. You know what I mean? Poor Ivanka. She had an unfortunate accident. Yeah. I wonder what she would be doing today. Freedom City. I like that. The freedom cities. We need a bunch of freedom cities. You don't want to call them 15-minute cities because if you call them 15-minute cities, people don't like the fact that you're going to be contained within a little area. You can't go outside of that area. So what do? You call it something opposite. It's a freedom city. You're free to go, only 15 minutes out. That's as far as you go. That's as far as your freedom goes. But we're going to call it a freedom city. Whatever they say, it's the opposite. Just remember that. Whatever they say, if they say it's special, it's not special. If they say it's good for you, because he still does say it's good for you, it's not good for you. Okay? It's not good for you. But there are some very strange signs and wonders that follow. You gotta give them that. Strange signs and wonders. We think too much alike, team? Oh, yeah? That's good. That's why you're in Alaska. You like the cold? Yeah, that's good, man. Yep. I guess I should be getting on. You like the cold? I like the cold too. I like to be in a place that a lot of people can't survive in. Most people would say, I hate it here. I'm going back to California. I'm going back to Florida or Texas. I'm like, okay, see ya. I'm sorry you can't handle it, but it was fun knowing you for the little bit of time that we had. Did you see your comment about Mickey Willis? No, I didn't. I don't even know who Mickey Willis is. Who is Mickey Willis? Is that somebody I should know? Let me see. Mickey Willis? Um, okay. He wrote a book. Yeah. He's a filmmaker. After digging for survivors under the rubble of the World Trade Center, Willis experienced an awakening that reshaped his life and profession. Wow. Sounds like an interesting story. I'm surprised that he doesn't have like cancer because so many people that were there have died because of all the toxic, you know, quality of the air quality was so toxic that a lot of people died, you know. California was all red not so long ago. What happened here can happen to any state. Don't judge California harshly. No, I understand. I mean, I'm not judging the people as much as I guess you would say. It's just I don't know. I guess you have to just kind of get out and see what it's like somewhere else and I kind of knew it while I was in it because sometimes when you're in the environment, you don't really understand what it's like outside of that environment, like the frog in the kettle kind of thing. You're kind of used to it, so it feels all right. But if you've ever experienced anywhere else, you'd be like, why am I here? What am I doing? I would think. Unless, of course, you're just loving it. I mean, maybe your roots are there and you've got all your things are there and your family's all there. And I can understand. It's hard to uproot and go somewhere else. It is. It's very difficult. But you got to have a call to do that. You got to know why you're doing it. There's got to be a reason. And, whether it's the political environment or the environmental environment. Like I lived in the central area, central Cali, and it's toxic there. I mean, they've got a certain fever they call valley fever. People get cancer because just living there for 20 years, they'll get lung cancer because there's so many chemicals in the air. You've got all the crops and it's like if you ever look at a map, it's like all the mountains surround the central California area, and it's like a big bowl of soup. And all of the pollution from the Bay Area comes down, and all the pollution from the Central Valley, and it just kind of swirls in this big bowl, circled by all the mountains. And if you ever see, like, when it's foggy, like on a foggy day, you'll see, like, the maps, the satellite, you'll just see a big circle. Like all the mountains just hold it all in. And it's just like, so you're just breathing in all that toxicity every single day, always having bad air days. And then you got all the fires that will happen, and your whole area down there gets all smoky, and you're just breathing. You might as well just smoke a carton of cigarettes every few weeks. The Sierra Nevadas are pretty cool. I mean, I like the Sierra Nevadas. I used to go up there and fish and do stuff up there. There's a gold country up there. We used to kind of live up. But, it's just as crazy up there. Before they legalized all the, marijuana, there was cartels up there. You couldn't go off trail when you're in the Sierra Nevadas because you might run into a cartel. And at that time, and, you got to be real careful when you were up there. I don't know if that's still the same thing that's going on up there. I don't know if they're still doing that, but I don't know why they would, because isn't the incentive to make profit is gone? All I know is that it's pretty corrupt everywhere around there. Well, I'll give you an example. So I don't know if you're familiar with like Mariposa, but there's a that's kind of the gold 49, Highway 49 area. You got Oakhurst, Mariposa. It goes all the way to, Well, it's just all up in those little mountainous areas up there. And there was an airport up there in Mariposa. I think it was Mariposa. Yeah, and there's a sheriff up there. This was back in the 80s, I guess, in the 90s. And he was very corrupt. And in fact, there was a 2020 that was done on him. Baba Wattis. I'm Baba Wawa, and it's just 2020. Remember 2020? 2020. Baba Wawa. She hated that. They did a 2020 on this guy because he was working with the cartels. He's the police chief, right? He's the head of the sheriff. He's the head sheriff. And he's a big, oaky kind of guy. Looks like, Haas from, I don't know. He kind of looks like Haas from Gunsmoke or something like that. He's big old cowboy looking guy. Real cocky. They interviewed him. They were trying to get the truth out of him. They had an sit down interview with him. They said that what happened was people were informants. They were trying to tell the feds, I guess, or they were trying to do like a sting on this guy because people were dying. People were being killed and thrown into the lake, and the police department or the sheriff's department was facilitating the cartels taking all the drugs, flying it out of the airport, and they were basically giving them security. And anybody that said anything disappeared and was found in the lake. Yeah. And so they ended up doing like a 22. You can find it on YouTube. If you go on YouTube and you look up, let me see. I think it's in there.
Of infirmity will cause depression.
Oh my gosh. This guy, I don't know how to get rid of this. Anytime I type in YouTube, this dude pops up. Okay, so it is, if you type in 2020, let's see, is this the one? Or maybe it was 60 Minutes? Wait a minute. Yeah, okay. A look back at Mariposa, California corruption and history. That might be it. Yeah, 1991.
Found on a lake.
Yeah. Okay, so, yeah, this is it. Okay, so.
The Queen visits.
Yeah, okay, so the Queen of England had visited the area up there. And there was an accident, and it was all like this murder mystery. It was like all this really crazy, weird stuff. She decides to go up to Mariposa in some caravan, with her Secret Service detail and everything. And there was an accident by, I think it was Secret Service, and some of them got killed. But they say it was all connected to all this corruption that was going on with the sheriffs up there. Anyway, there's a whole 2020 segment on this, and I'll show it if you're interested in finding out. This is the dude right here. Tell me that he don't look like a Haas kind of, what was it? That show with the what was the name of it? Not Starsky and Hutch. Oh gosh, what was the name of that? Anyways, there was a program where he had a red car with a number on it, and there was two guys, and they would always race around, and there was a cute girl in it that used to have, she wore short shorts. What was that program? And they had the sheriff that always was trying to catch him. Remember that show? What was the name of that? Anyway, this is the dude here. I forgot the name of that show. Dukes of Hazzard. That's it. Dukes of Hazzard. You're right. Remember the sheriff? That's kind of what this guy kind of reminds me of a little bit. But anyway, listen to this dude. I can't play a lot of it though because it'll probably be copyright. But just look at some of his demeanor.
Hocus pocus. Locus pocus. No such thing ever happened.
Something bizarre. The Law of Sheriff Page.
So basically, they were shipping in. The drugs were coming in from the cartels in the mountains. They were giving safe passage and watching over and securing all of these transactions, and they were getting paid off. This dude here, the head guy, he was like ordering people's death. Like if they were going to say anything or they were trying to expose something, they would end up mysteriously dead and thrown into the lake. Isn't that crazy? There's Baba Wawa 2020. This is Baba Wawa in 2020. Let's listen to Baba Wawa.
Good gods, but in Mariposa they have their doubts.
In Mariposa they have their doubts. She almost sounds like a cross between Chinese and I don't know, Wawa Wawa. She does kind of sound Chinese a little bit, doesn't she? Did she passed away, didn't she? I shouldn't be making fun of her. Barbara Walters. Is she dead? Let's see. Oh yeah, she did die. She died in 2022. I bet you she died of the juice, I bet. Let's see. What did she die of? This is my curiosity here. Let's see if they attribute it to the China sneeze, which is probably the juice is what got her. The self-replicating nanotechnologies. I said the word. Shoot. There goes my stuff here. Okay, so The View. She's on The View. We're on The View. She's like, Whoopi, please be good. Stop being a crazy woman. Okay, I'm looking and see how she died. Man, they have a huge amount of information on her Wikipedia. Come on. Where did legacy and awards? Doesn't it say how she died? What did she die of? My goodness. Okay, here it is. Health issues and death. So it says she said she would be having an open heart operation to replace a faulty aortic valve. Aortic valve. I don't know. Now I'm saying it wrong. She had known that she was suffering from stenosis, even though she was symptom-free. For days after the operation, Walter's spokesperson, Cindy Berger, said that the procedure to fix the faulty heart valve went well, and the doctors are very pleased with the outcome. She returned to The View with her Sirius XM satellite show in 2010. She retired permanently from both shows 4 years later. She had been suffering from dementia in her later years. So she was 93. Her last words were, "No regrets. I had a great life." Wow. Those words were etched into her gravestone at Lakeside Memorial Park. Okay. Well, that was cool. That's what happened to Barbara Wawa. Regina, nice knowing you too. Where are you going? Did Regina get mad at me? Is she talking about going to sleep? Or maybe she was a Barbara Walters fan. Because of the words you said about the thing? What did I say? About Barbara Walters? Yeah, I know. I said it wrong, huh? I didn't mean erotica. Erotic. Erotic. I can't say it. How do you say it? Somebody tell me how to say it. Aortic? I don't know. But anyways, I guess I'm done for tonight. I got to go in and tuck in the kitties if they're still awake. Aortic. Aortic. Okay, there you go. Aortic. That's how you say it. Aortic. Very good. Aortic. Everybody's helping me. Thank you. Aortic. All right. Good night, DD. All of you guys, have a great night. God bless all of you. It was really nice hanging out with you again. We're thinking about just kind of bringing the our fellowship to the open, YouTube platform here. We'll just do like kind of hangouts. That's kind of what we did, and we just pray and talk and share. I say usually a good night prayer. Talk about the word. So if you guys want to do that, we can do that. I still am going to be doing my, early morning devotional. So come and join us for the early, and I say early morning, it's usually a little bit later in the morning. So if you want to join us, come on over. I'll let everybody know usually when I start those, but I'm going to try to do that regularly. And we're still going to do the sign thing, the signs in the heavens thing. So don't worry. Everybody can still see it, at least the preliminary part of it, on Patreon if you want to see it. But I will be releasing that here real soon. So let's say a prayer and a blessing in Jesus' name. We love you, Jesus. We thank you for all that you do in our lives every day. I pray that you will just tuck everybody in with a good night, special message directly to their own heart and life, that you would be very real to everyone here that is trusting you, that may just beginning to trust, may just be opening the door just a little. I pray that you would fill their lives with goodness and joy and peace, and reveal the full, as the days continue on, more of yourself to them, an unfolding revelation of that truth that is truly the very foundations of life itself, the very essence of who we are, remaking us into your image. We thank you for that process, and we pray that we submit humbly and meekly to that process, humbly receive that with meekness, the engrafted word, which is able to save our souls. We love you and thank you, Jesus, for that work and that word in your awesome, holy, and powerful name. Amen. All right, guys, God bless. We'll talk to you guys real soon. Have a great night, and we'll see you back tomorrow, the Lord willing. You got to say the Lord willing because you never know what can happen. Amen. All right, guys. God bless.